I wanted to start off with this quote. It says, today's successes are not necessarily the successes of the future. And that really rang true to me. This was, they can't see my screen, why not? Okay, hang on a sec, guys. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? Yes. Perfect. Thanks, everyone. See, you guys are great. Okay, so as I was saying, this quote that I like, today's successes are not necessarily the successes of the future. And that was said by Sunny Gangali. And if you don't know him, he's one of the owners of Wedding Wire. And I went to go see him speak, and he was just fabulous. And I just thought this rang so true. When you look at different things in the digital world anyway, for example, like Blockbuster, sure, it was successful, but where is it today? It's no longer successful. It's been replaced by Netflix, and you know, slowly Netflix is being replaced by Android boxes. And the same with, like, you know, like Kodak, for example, Kodak cameras and film. Where were they 10 years ago, and where are they now? They're no longer in business. So the reason I think this quote is so perfect for you guys is it just means that the world is constantly changing, and you have to really keep up with the changes. So what I listed 10 things you need to be successful in the destination world. And these are what I think anyway. You need passion. I think that if you go into this just to try and make some money and do bookings and don't have any passion or any feeling towards your market, it's just not going to work. You're just not going to be successful. You know, you've got to be enthusiastic and you know, really define your mission. You've got to have optimism. You know, I know there's a lot of times how many quotes do you get and you don't get a booking. You know, you really got to continue with the optimism, because it will come about at one point. Be decisive. When you're working with brides and couples, you know, trust your gut. You know, if they come in and you think, you know, oh, I don't know, they're going to be a pain in the butt, and they're really, you know, nickel and diming me, that's not somebody you want to work with. So, you know, trust your gut and go with what your gut says. And remember that when you're doing these weddings and presenting yourself, that execution is everything on how you do your job. Be relentless. I can't tell you how much I hear, you know, I'll send somebody a lead and they say, oh, I've tried and I've emailed and they're not getting back to me. And I just say, keep trying, you know, be relentless. I am finding that the majority of the time what happens is they contact us, I send out the lead, and, you know, they shop around a bit, and then they, you know, maybe a month or two later, they come back to the DV specialist and say they want to work with you. So it's not always a no right at the beginning. Just, you know, be relentless and don't give up on them. You must be, or at least try to be, I'm on the more try to be tech obsessed. This is a digital world we're living in. Your customers are on the phones and on the computers, so you really have to learn how to be techie. You know, take the time to understand technology, especially in the social media world. It's going to do your business wonders. And embrace changes that come about. You know, I'm sure most of you are on Facebook, and how many times have you seen different changes going through on Facebook, and just as you get things done, they go and change things on you. Well, it's the same in your world, that, you know, the digital world. You're going to have to adapt to these things. And you need to stay connected. That's most important. You know, invest in your network and build within your community. Give gratitude. If you're working with, you know, there's some agents that work on their own, but there's others that have people that work for them. And, you know, give gratitude and appreciation, and that'll go a long way for you. And always remember to have fun what you're doing. That goes back to the number one, passion. If you don't have the passion to do this, do weddings, you really shouldn't be in this business. So who is your target client, I've said this many times, it's a millennial. 70% of your target client is the millennial, and probably will be for the next 10 years. And there's 30% that's Generation X, and I'll just briefly say, you know, a millennial is anyone born between 1982 and 2002, and the Generation X, or we call them baby boomers, is anyone between 1961 and 81. So how do you effectively market to these people? You know, in one picture, there it is. You know, no matter where you go, no matter where you are, they're constantly on their phones. Whether it's, I can't even tell you, you know, everywhere you walk, they're walking down the street, they're on their phones. They're on the bus, they're on the phone. They're sitting outside, they're on the phone. They're always on the phone. And that's your key to contacting them. Through social media, your website, and some ads that you can do that we'll talk about a bit later. So with all that about, and you know that how you have to market to the millennial, how do you do that? Well, generally speaking, and how can you do it successfully? Sorry, I'm doing it wrong here. See, I'm not technically Swabi. So generally speaking, you really need a solid business plan. And this moving forward into 2017, you should really think about where you're going, what you're going to do, and how much money you're going to spend to invest in your business. A solid business plan will give you a direction that you're going in and, you know, goals to meet, so to speak. The budget is, I would say, mostly with marketing, and as we go through this presentation, I am on the cheap sheet, so I'm going to show you how to market yourself really affordably. You need great product and service at the same time. Can't stress that enough. You've got to know your product. You have to know what you're selling because you are selling weddings. Again, it's not something you can do over. It's a one-time thing, and so you really have to know your product. And we give you avenues to do that through DWHSA, and also as well as the webinars that we put together for you guys that are always based on weddings. And your service. I can't express enough how much your service means. Always be professional. You never know where your next wedding group's going to come, and most of the time it does come within a wedding group that you're already working on. Create a professional brand. Now what I mean by that, you may be an agent working within an agency, and you know, and I hope there's nobody on the call that's called this, but I'm just making this out of my head. Cruise deals, let's just say it's called Cruise Deals. That's the name of the company, but you're booking weddings within that company. Well, professionally speaking, you're not going to get any leads with anything you're advertising, because how does Cruise Away in any way gets to destination weddings? So if that's the case, I would go to your manager and I would ask, you know, do you mind if I open up, you know, like a little separate business on Facebook or whatever, and just call it your own little wedding business? And, you know, you're going to see how far that goes. We have people that have done that, and now they're, you know, creating their brand. They've created logos and the such, but it just makes sense that you brand yourself as a destination wedding planner. Powerful marketing materials and tools, and this includes social media. You know, there's so many things you can do to market, but you've got to figure out what's best for you. And within this world of destination weddings, I strongly say it's social media and websites and that kind of digital marketing, again, which is very affordable. Powerful marketing tools could be, you know, e-flyers that you might have a database and you might send out an e-flyer that we can actually are working on for you. We're working on all kinds of templates that you can use, that you can personalize and send out to your clients. And most important is a website. If you can, create a separate website from your general travel booking website, please do it. If not, you should at least have a section within your website that's really visible on the front page that you do destination weddings. I strongly recommend that you look at your local marketing, participate in local wedding shows, even, you know, the bigger shows if you like. Partner up with a supplier. If you're doing a wedding show and you want to partner, contact me. I can get you set up with somebody. We have supplier partners that are just chomping at the bit to co-op with you on a wedding show. So the likes of Air Canada Vacations, Couples, Sandos, just let me know and we'll get people to partner up for you. In fact, there was one gal that contacted me and she's already got a prize like, as a trip, a giveaway. She's just ecstatic, and I think this will be one of her most successful wedding shows. Local newspaper. Here in Toronto, to advertise in the Toronto Star, it would cost you probably, you'd have to mortgage your house. But for local newspapers, it's really quite affordable, and it's really a way to get your name out in your community. Get known as the destination wedding planner in your community. And you can do that by newspaper ads every week, maybe once a month, something like that. But I would definitely look at your local newspapers and the cost there, because I bet you they will be affordable. Join any community groups, you know, within your church, or maybe your gym, maybe you're into a sports group or something. Within that group, let it be known that you are a destination wedding planner, and that you know, within that group they may have a cousin, they may have a nephew, they may have whoever, but word gets around. Word of mouth will get around, and that's the best advertising for you. I say donate. I mean, like in your local area, you know, it helps to, you know, if somebody's running a charity or something in your local community, you may want to make a donation of something, get your name. It's advertising for you, and it also shows your community that you're working within the community. So looking at wedding shows, you know, I was always against wedding shows when I started managing this program about 6, 7 years ago, and I just thought it was a waste of time. I totally have changed my mind. Like I say, the times are changing, and you know, before you know it, things change at the bat of an eye. So wedding shows, there are couples that are going there definitely for destination weddings. Although it might be a traditional wedding show for weddings at home, I would go anyway. There's definitely people looking for destination weddings, and if not, even honeymoons. So they go to get information, they sample products, they compare prices, and I bolded make a connection. So when you're at a wedding show with a millennial and you're talking to a millennial, it's really important to them that they feel a connection with you. They want a relationship. You can see a bit further below, I speak to that. They like to have a relationship with you. They want to be somebody that you know, they can call you up anytime and you're like you've been old friends. Those are the people they want to deal with. So when you're at a wedding show and you meet couples, you can connect with them. And just that connection will have them call you. Now, just on, this is Chris Evans. He writes runs the Bridal Business Boot Camp. And he says when you're at a wedding show, 95% of the people you meet at the show will say no to meeting you after the show. But 5% will say yes. So you've got to look at that 5%, right? So say, you know, a lot of the wedding shows, the big ones, there might be 1,000, there might be 3,000. So let's just say, for example, you're at a big wedding show and you don't speak to everybody, but you know, maybe 300 people came to your booth. So at 5% of 300 is 15. So 15 people will meet with you after the show. And at 78% closing, for people that come and meet you after the show, that's 11 group wedding bookings for you. So even though, you know, it looks like there's a lot of people at the show, there are 5% that are going to contact you. So that's really positive, and you've got to think about it that way, because not everybody at the show is there to see you. So wedding shows, I highly recommend, especially the local ones. I would, and if you want to co-op, you let me know. Your website. Like I said earlier, some of you just have your own agency website, but I believe, you know, even your agency website can tell you how much business you're bringing in, but it's the cornerstone of your business and the hub for all your online marketing. You should create a separate site for your destination wedding and romance travel sales, or at the very least a separate section on your main site that clearly labels you are on the home page as a destination wedding and honeymoon specialist. I mentioned that earlier, but it doesn't harm repeating that. So with regards to your website, here's some points that I think are important. You must have a responsive website. That's really, really important. So you know how many times have you gone on a website and it's not loading quick enough and you go off it? I know I do that all the time. If I get on a website and it's not loading, I'll just go and I'll look for something else. So it's really important that you have a responsive website. If you don't, then you've got to talk to the person that's either created your website or who is hosting your website on a server. One of those people should be able to help you get a more responsive site. You must update your website regularly and with good content. If you just open a website and let it sit there, it's going to do absolutely nothing for you. It's all about the SEO, search engine optimization, and I will talk a little bit further in the webinar about that. It's a good idea to have a blog on your website if you can. Blogs are a great way to update your website, you know, just doing a quick, you know, little writing on maybe a property you've seen or a trend that's going on, and I have a little bit about a blog a little further on. Not a good idea to copy and paste content. And the reason I say that is because, you know, they have these Google police that are constantly searching the internet, and they basically search. And if they can find content that's identical in more than I think 8 places or something like that, they will flag you, and you'll be in big trouble. So even if you want to copy and paste it, at least change it up a bit. I know for me, a lot of our suppliers say, yeah, take whatever you want on the website. It's all good. And we do that. We do take content, but we change it up slightly so that it's not an exact copy of what they have on their website. And we do that because, you know, we don't want to get caught by Google and then flagged, and then you have all sorts of problems. Keywords, and I bold that because it's very important. They build a strong foundation to give your content the best chance. And when I say keywords, it's things like when you're writing or you have content that you're loading up on the website, make sure your keywords are destination wedding related. So have a lot of destination wedding planning, destination, you know, different things, keywords that are involving wedding in some way. And those keywords, you can tag them, or you can have your web guy tag them on your site, and that will bring more searching to you. So when someone's searching for destination wedding, chances are you might be showing up on the Google search. Have your name, business, or contact information on the bottom of every page. That's really important too, because sometimes you get into a website and they say, oh yeah, I want to call them, and then you've got to go back to the front page, and then you, oh, what page was I on? And so just have all that contact information at the bottom of your page. Testimonials and reviews are a gold mine. People just don't realize how good they are and what they mean to, especially to millennials. Use them in all your marketing to define your brand. Even on the DV website, if you have a testimonial, send them to us. We'll get them on the website. You know, a person like a millennial, couple that are getting married, they would rather read about another couple's experience on their wedding than, you know, maybe even listening to you telling them about a resort. They don't like to be taught at all. And make sure you measure your success. And I'm talking Google Analytics, and of course, probably some of you don't know what that is, but it's a great source to find out how your posts are doing, how your website's doing, what pages are being hit, like all kinds of things. If you want to learn more about it, that's a whole different webinar. But you know, maybe we should do something on that. But if not, you know, you can search for it and you can find out what it does. And the key to success is building your SEO. And all those things, your keywords, your good content, your testimonials, all that type of stuff, having a blog, that increases your search engine optimization. So I was just touching on SEO, and what is SEO? It's the name given to activity that attempts to improve your search engine rankings. So meaning when somebody does a search for destination weddings, if you have an website that's very active, you have keywords in there, you're writing a blog, people are reacting to it, you're going to be pretty high up in Google search when someone searches for destination weddings. Search engines such as Google, for example, when you search a particular topic, displays the links to pages it considers relevant and authoritative to what you are searching for. And that's what I just spoke about in, how to get your website relevant and authoritative. Authority is mostly measured by analyzing the number and quality of links from other web pages. So I always thought that it was just generally your website, your whole website, but it's not. It's each individual page that it measures, and it ranks them. So that's how Google does it. So if you have all those things and you keep good content, you're updating your website, you're very current, your SEO is going to build. Now, the thing is, when you go for a Google search, and what always comes up, there's always 3 or 4 at the top of the page that are like ads, paid ads. So they pay to be one of the first searches, and it can be quite expensive. They actually, I think, bet on it, and usually people are paying about $70 a day just to have that location on a search. So if you can afford it, you can also buy Google Ads. Good content encourages people to link to and share your pages and shows Google that your pages are interesting and authoritative. This leads to search engine success because Google wants to show interesting and authoritative pages in search results. So basically, I'm just saying if your content is good and people share it, that's a really good thing. You can even notice that on Facebook if somebody shares one of your posts. It's the same with your website. So how can you improve SEO on your website? And I say it takes a little luck. And luck means link building, so meaning that all on your website, every single link is working. There's no broken links. Your UL structure, keep it quick, easy, and simple. You don't want a long, like something like www.liz's.destination.wedding /Jamaica /. You don't want anything like that. You just want something really cute and simple that people will remember. I don't have to say anything about content. You know about that. It's really important. If you're looking for content and you don't know how to go about it or you need some, you can always contact me. I'd be happy to help you. And of course, your keywords. If you don't understand keywords with relation to destination weddings, then try a search on it. But I think it's pretty simple that anything to do with a destination wedding is a keyword. So I wanted to talk just about blogging a bit because I really think this is a really quick and easy, and you would probably love doing it because you know your stuff so well, and it's just like writing or texting your friends, really. Blogs are a content engine. So it's updating your content on your website, it's increasing your SEO, and you're doing very little. You're not changing a lot on your website. When I say that you're keeping content, you don't have to revamp your whole website every time to keep your content updated. You can just add to it, change pictures, that kind of thing. You need at least 300 words per blog for Google to recognize or index you. That's really important. So if you're writing a blog and it's 200 words, that's really nice that you did a blog, but it's not going to be recognized by Google, and that's what you want to do. Again, I can't stress enough the keywords. Make your blogs funny, include humor, make them reflect yourself, your personality, and try and reflect your brand. Try to build partnerships and drive traffic to one another. You may want to partner with, a jeweler or something along that lines, and you can share content. And of course, I stressed it on the last slide, make your blog share-worthy. Make it so interesting that they want to share it, because that's going to increase your SEO and make you known. That's how these, things go viral. You may write a little story that, is quite funny or memorable, or maybe, very, touching to the heart or something like that. And you may end up a viral sensation. Blogging mistakes. When not using your images, when you just have 300 words of text, it's really, really not nice to look at. It's not very attractive, but a picture will bring them in. Using a confusing headline. Like I said, make it short and sweet. You don't want them to have to figure out what the story is about. I don't know what this third one is. I must have been thinking something and then went off. I'm sorry about that. Not consistent with content, meaning, you update it once every 6 months. You're updating content and then you're updating with conflicting content. It's not a good thing. Blogging that doesn't reflect your personality. You may be copying and pasting again and just, jigging words around. That's not a good idea. You can actually, anybody can write, honestly. If you just sit down and think about one of your wedding experiences, just write it down in true to yourself in the way you speak. People will love that. Never never put a link in any of your blogs. You don't want anybody going off your site for any reason. Plagiarizing other bloggers is a no-no. Publishing a blog only once per month. What I just said earlier, that's not being consistent with content. Yes, we have a question.
What is a recommended frequency for content updates?
Are you referring to content on your website or on a blog? On a blog, I would say I would blog it, once a week. I would update your content both. Okay, so I'm doing both. I would update your content on your website at least minimum once a month, if not once every 2 weeks. If you can't update your site, use a blog. It's so much easier. But even if you just go in and change some of your pictures, just make it look different, that will, make Google believe that you're changing your content. Any other questions? Okay. And of course, the last thing was, always have, and I think it's actually automatically put on there when you put a blog onto your website, is not inviting a comment from your readers. So just going back to, the search engine, because this was a fact. Those top 3 results, the ones that are paying Google to be in those top 3, in the top 3 when you search for them, they're getting 60% of the business. Isn't that just sucks? It really does. That's why if you have the money, it's a good thing to do. But think about yourself. Like, what do you do? Because of that, because they're paid ads, I don't go to them. I actually will go, scroll down and go to somebody below the ads. So it's funny. So I don't know if that's true or not. Now I wanted to touch a bit about email marketing. Okay, it's a good idea that you do some email marketing. Here at Destination Vows, we're going to help you with that. We're going to be creating, on this new extranet and stuff, new templates you can use. We're going to provide content for you, and all you basically have to do is, it's going to be templated, is just, go in there, put all your information, your logo, whatever you want to do, and away you go. So if there's particular topics that, you think that might be good for marketing, drop me a line, let me know, we'll get something out for you. We're here to help you. We want to support you. We want you to be successful in your business. 50% of people are opening their email on the phone. Isn't that interesting? So more than half people are opening their emails on their phone. When you are sending out an email flyer, and if you use Constant Contact, which most of you I think do, If not, contact me. I'll get you set up there. It's a really great tool. 10% is a good opening rate. So if you have, send it out to your database of 500 people and only 10% open it, they say that's a good opening rate. They say the best time to send an email marketing letter is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays between 10:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. And just, you may be asking, how the heck do I know all this stuff? Because I do research a lot of different people, and I do go to different seminars. It's a bunch of different people that I compile together, but most of it is from The Knot, Wedding Wire, DWHSA, people like that. So they're very reliable sources. Okay, here's an interesting fact. The upper left-hand side of the page gets the most attention. So when you open an email, your eyes just automatically go to the left-hand corner. So it's really important, whatever's in that left-hand corner, that you've got something that's really attractive or drags them in, or some sort of picture or something that makes them want to read the rest of your email. Font matters. I strongly, for me, and this is just my opinion, I won't read anything that's script. I find script very difficult to read, and I don't like it in an email letter. So I think font matters when you're, whatever you use. If you're using script, if you're using, something maybe big and bold, that might be like you're yelling. But, check out your fonts, that your fonts, are nice and, calming almost. The from line is the most important area of your email, and 30% of people will decide on whether or not they're going to open it just on that subject line. So be very careful with what you put in that subject line. Something that, think about yourself, what would make you open the email, or even talk to some of your friends. And for sure, because Ontario is huge, check your provincial laws, because there are strict laws. For here in Toronto, we have to actually ask and have them reply that they want us to send these emails to our clients. And, enough said, build an email list with every client that you come across. Maybe, I don't even know if your agency may have one, but you may want to, build a wedding email list, newsletter that you may want to send out once every 2 weeks, or that kind of thing. Or just an email blast to let everybody in your agency's database, let them know that you're doing destination weddings, that if they need planning or any help with destination weddings, you're there and available to help them. They may not know. Use a mix of text and images. I told you that earlier, and use descriptive words. When I say descriptive words, I mean like, I'm trying to think of examples here. So I'm sorry. So say you're going down the street and there's 2 stands, and one of them says lemonade, 10 cents, and they're sitting there and there's lemonade there. And the one beside it says ice cold lemonade. And you look at the lemonade and it's sitting there in a beautiful ice jug. Which one would you go to? Wouldn't you go to the ice cold lemonade? So just a little descriptive word really goes a long way. And create campaigns that highlight your service. Like you may do different campaigns in that you may be going, after Jamaica, people interested in Jamaica. Just make sure that you always highlight what you do and how you can help them. And of course, there's no use going through all these emails and sending out all this stuff if you don't monitor your results. If it's not helping your business, then it's, it's not for you. So it's really important that you monitor what you do and track it. And I just wanted to go back to the subject line, because I was telling you how important it was. So avoid spam triggers. Do not use cap lock. Make it personal and keep it short. Maximum 35 to 65 characters. That's pretty simple in a subject line, especially when that's the main thing that's going to draw your client in to read that email. Now, you're going to ask me, I know, what are spam triggers, right? Spam triggers, I've listed some here. You can do a search on it and find out for yourself, but it's things that are in the subject line, like dollar signs, 100% free, any of these things, free offer, free quote, All those things are spam triggers, and what will happen is your email will go right into the junk mail. So be very careful on how you word your subject line. Okay? No more questions? Good. I hope you guys are learning something. I talk away here to myself, and I don't know what's going on. Anyways, moving on. So social media marketing, the best and cheapest way to market your business. I can't say this enough. It's so cheap. And if you have a marketing budget, you know, I have some agents that work on their own, and they'll spend like $3,000 to go to a national Canada bridal show, and I just don't know if you get that, you know, your return on that. So if you want, you know, to start out, try social media. And I'm going to start off with some Facebook tips, okay? So needless to say, and I have it in there, you don't post your business stuff on your personal page. I have friends that do that. I just X them out. I just, no more posts. I can't stand it. So keep your personal and your business separate. With regards to Facebook, post several posts during the week and boost the one that is connecting more with your business. Now, you're going to say, how do I know which is connecting? I'm going to show you. You know, after I go through this slide, I'm going to go off and I'm going to go right onto the Destination Vows Facebook page, and I'm going to show you. So you have several posts, and you may post one about, you know, saying, you know, getting married on a cruise ship, getting married in Jamaica, or the last one, getting married in Mexico. And I'm just, you know, I'm not just saying to do that, I'm just giving examples. And all of a sudden, when you're looking at your insights on your Facebook, and you see, oh my God, look how much the Jamaica is. I've had like 1,000 hits or 300 hits on Jamaica, but I've only had, you know, 50 hits on the cruise. So I'm going to boost that Jamaica because I think more people are interested in that. And boosting is really, really easy, and I will show you how to do that. Image is more important than text. However, headlines do matter, and I say that again with your subject line in your emails. The headline, really important. It brings your client in. And then the images, you know, beautiful images that just makes you go, ah. Not everything needs to be posted. You know, I see people, they're posting about every little thing, and you know, what happens there is people get really tired of it, and they just pass your posts, and you know, so that's why it's, you know, if you're posting maybe 2-3 times a week, they actually appreciate that, and they actually look at what you're posting. So, and what you post has got to have some depth to it. Do not post anything that you might regret. I can't stress that enough. I can give you an example of somebody that posted something, and they didn't post it. One of their clients posted, and they couldn't get that post off, and it's really hurt their business. So remember what you're posting. Remember, you are representing your business. Keep your personal Facebook page and your Facebook business page completely separate. And if you don't have a business page, let me know. I've got webinars I can send you and show you how to get your business page going. And remember, whatever you post will reflect you. And that's what you want. So remember that. And always analyze. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go off this webinar here for a second, and I'm going to go into Google. Okay, so this, can they all see this page? Okay, so this is the Destination Vows business page. And if you look down, it constantly gives you things like, for example, I'm going to go down. Let's see. So this is a really good example. So on December the 8th, I posted, and you know, if you aren't friends on Facebook, please like us, because you know, you can share all this content whenever you want. You know, you got to know what's happening. So I posted this cover of the magazine, and just, simply, wedding stories, what it's about. And I was really happy because I got 3,041 people liked it or reached. And those are what we call organic, meaning I didn't advertise, I didn't have a Facebook post, I did not boost the post. It was strictly organic. Just because I posted it, people looked at it, people shared it, and all of a sudden I had 3,000 people looking at it. And see this here, what I'm touching right there? I could both boost this post, and I could do it for $2. Do you want to do $2? I'm going to see if I can post it or not. So this is what happens. You say, who you want to boost it to. You can change these. I just say 18 to 65, leave it in Canada, everybody. My budget is $5, and I'm going to boost it. Okay, so they receive my order, and what they do is they review the post, make sure there's nothing wrong on it, and it will run for 3 days, and it's going to cost me $5. Okay, so if anybody's interested on how that post boosted, just contact me, I'll let you know. But we boosted it now, we're going to see how it goes, okay? Here's one where, I reached, again, all these are organic people. This is what's good. These are people that I haven't reached out by ads. These are just by posting. And this was the wedding that I attended in Eleuthera, and I posted the video on it. This was a really interesting one, and I have to just talk to you about this for a second if you haven't heard. This couple in Nova Scotia, her mother is a destination vows specialist called Sharon Loppy, and she's a great gal, and she did her wedding in, her daughter and to-be son-in-law were having their wedding in Jamaica. They obviously have 2 kids together, they're living together, and they didn't want any gifts. So what they did was they decided that, you know what, instead of gifts, I want to give back to the country. So what they did was they found a school that was underprivileged called Prickly Pear, and what they did was they gathered all the money from the gifts from their friends, and they went out and they had 10 suitcases full of, school supplies, things they use, even like soccer balls, that kind of thing, as well as they bought 6 tablets because there was 6 classrooms in this particular school, so they bought a tablet for every classroom, and as well as they donated $1,500 to the school. So it kind of went viral. They were hoping to get $1,500 total, and they ended up getting almost $4,000. So I posted it on here, on our Destination Vows page, and I don't know how, but I think it was the way I posted because I said, here's a feel-good story about a destination wedding, with something to that effect. I used feel-good story in the post. Well, CTV posted back and said, this is such a great story, we'd love to have it on the news. Would you like to be on the news? And that day, CTV came to their house, filmed them, and there was a lovely, and you could read, if you want to, there's the link there on the Destination Vows page. You can see that the television advertisement and the Destination Vows magazine was there. It was great. So little things like that can really build your business. So insights, I wanted to talk to you about insights. So this is where you can go, and this will tell you how your posts are doing, where the highs and lows are. Down here will tell you, you can see this post here, I did 122 people looking at it and 10 were engaged. That's not a good post. This one here, this was one post I did, and I just showed some pictures of the new Majestic Mirage in Punta Cana. And this is probably one I would boost again. I had 371 organic looks at it. That means by not dragging them in or bringing them in through an ad or anything, or a boost. So that's really good. And it can see, you go down and you can see how your posts are going. How many, Sunday I had 1,054 look at the site. So, on a given day, mostly about 1,000 people are looking at the DV Facebook page. And that's really good, although I'd like it to be a lot more, but, I'm only one person, and I shouldn't complain. I love doing it. I really do. But I just want to show you what you can do with your business page. All the insights are in there. It will tell you what's doing well, what's not doing well, who you targeted. Here's one I boosted. Oh, actually, that's the one that I just boosted now. I'm going to try and see if I can show you. So here's one I boosted. I had 268 people look at it, and when I boosted, 20, so you can see organic, meaning nobody, paid them or dragged them into the site, but paid because of that boost, 2,871 people looked at that. So, I boosted that for over a while, though. I spent $12. This one I spent $4, and I boosted 800. So, that's just a little insight into you don't see this on your personal pages, but you will see it on your business page. Let's see if we can get back to the webinar now. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm taking so much of your time. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through the rest. Always look before you post. Have you really reviewed the image? Like, here's a couple of images I'm showing you that was posted, and you're like, I bet you that bride is like, oh my God. Look at what you're posting. The one on the right-hand side, it's a lovely picture, but, it should have been cropped, just around the arch, because it looks terrible. Looks like nobody came to their wedding. And again, where the fruit is placed on that poor bride, oh my God. So remember, always remember here's a couple others. There's nothing better when you're cutting the cake on the beach and there's a guy in a thong in the background, right? So always remember, look at the picture you're posting. The one on the right-hand side, it looks like she's got leakage coming out of her breast. Facebook ads. Uh-oh, we have a question, yes.
So I can use the same exact post on my business Facebook page?
What do you mean?
The post that you show right now, Stevie?
Yes, all you have to do is share it. There's a share button, and you can just go ahead and share it. You're more than welcome. You won't be able to share it if you don't like us, so you have to like us first. And if you, who was asking that?
Deborah.
Deborah, if you need any help with that, just let me know, okay? I'd be happy to help you. Facebook ads. Facebook ads are a way of marketing your business really, really cheap, and you set the budget. So you could do, $5 a day, you can do $10 a week, whatever you want. I advise that you, constantly change them. I'm sure you see them yourself on Facebook, the ads that come up, and you may see one that's constantly there, constantly there. You may want to change it up and be short and sweet. Set a budget, what you're going to do, target your audience. I always target either people that are engaged or people in a relationship. And you have to create a unique landing page for your ads. So when they click onto that, you don't want them to go to a piece of crap. You want it to look nice. You want it to look, a landing page, a PDF, or even onto your website. Again, images are more important, so that image that you put on the ad is very, very important. And your text, you can't go into long detail. It's very short and simple. Again, if you need help with ads, let me know. The key to social media success today is anything that Facebook owns. Okay? Facebook Live, that's what's happening now. I see a lot of specialists using it. The only problem with Live is you can't edit it and it's live. So you've got to be sure you know what you're doing, and you've got to be sure you know where your camera's going. Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, these are all social media avid channels that are really well. But Facebook, if you're starting out, I would use Facebook. Another one, Instagram and Pinterest. And the key, I can't tell you enough, you must stay relevant. Sorry. You know what I mean. Because if you don't, you're going to be behind the times, and these things change so fast. And that's why, just stick to maybe Facebook for now and get really, really comfortable and then build. Just looking to the future, Facebook, that's what's happening today. By 2018, it's going to be, Instagram that we will be marketing on. And then in 2019 to 20, it's going to be Snapchat. You're going to see more and more live video content. And that's, like I just mentioned, with live Facebook. quickly, the mobile revolution. The fact is we are living in a digital age. Connecting in person is now almost impossible. Like, I don't think I call anybody. I always text my friends now. All information is at our fingertips, so we're spoiled there. We can work anywhere we want, and we have the ability to communicate instantly. The negatives are we're on information overload. How many people, you know, if you get a cut and something happens to it and you Google it, and by the end of the day, you know, you've got gangrene or something, you know, when you're searching for what's wrong with you. We have lack of focus because there's so much to look at. And we have the inability to socialize. More and more people, you know, and I'm sure you can do it with your kids. You're downstairs, they're upstairs, and they're texting you. They're not even talking to you. The fact is the mobile has replaced many things in our life. A few examples. It replaces the clock. It's replaced the camera. It's replaced the watch, a stopwatch, and timers. It's even replaced our conversations. We are now texting to our kids. Can you believe that? In 5 years, we will be 100% mobile, no more desktop. And that is a quote from Wedding Wire, who has not let me down. And just on some facts, 80% of the millennials have a smartphone. BlackBerry, if you got one, get rid of it. Average person reaches for their phone every 6 minutes. And I can attest to that. I think everybody in this office does. An average person can spend 4.5 hours per day on their phone, and it's usually in the hours between 8 and 10, in the evening hours. 3 of 4 people will leave your mobile site if they encounter a bad experience. That's why it's important that your website is mobile friendly. I know I'm not, you know, like I'm not techie, but I believe it's fairly simple to do, but it's a different design. And, you know, look at other mobile sites, because basically when you look at a mobile site, you want everything on that first page. You don't want to have to scroll. So everything should be on the first page with a click, and they click into it. And there's been a 585% increase in apps. Apps is just going out of this world. If your mobile conversion is not as good as your website, you will be out of business in 5 years. What I mean is if your mobile website is not as good as your desktop website, you're going to be out of business, because in 5 years, there's going to be no desktops. And finally, lead generation. Simple. If you're not getting the leads, you're not doing enough advertising. Leads just don't come to you. You've got to advertise. You've got to market for them. Lead generation. Sign up for every free directory. These are some things I'm just telling you that you can do that are free, that are cheap, that can get you out there. Do a search on Google for wedding directory, free wedding directory listing, and you can list yourself on there. Ensure your Destination Vows profile is up to date on our website. You know, some people have been in the program for years and they've never changed it. Let's get them changed up. Change it every year if you want. You know, add your weddings, you know, whatever you want to do. You don't have to just answer those questions. You can write about yourself. You can write your own copy. You can do whatever you want. And ensure you have your DWHSA profile up as well, because that's a lead generator. You know, they're sourcing leads for us, so it's important that you have that page updated. Look at storefront advertising. The Knot, for example, you can, and you know, I know there's U.S. planners on there, but not Canada, very little. You can rent a storefront on the Knot website for $75 a month. And basically, it's a page on the Knot that you can do whatever you want with about your wedding business, and they charge you for that space. You can get them on Wedding Wire. You can get them on brides.com as well. It's called storefront advertising, and it's on websites. Facebook ads, I talked about that. Contests. If you can get a supplier to give you a free 3-day trip or something when you're at shows, or even on Facebook, you're going to get leads. Attend as many wedding shows as you can. And of course, social media is huge. I just wanted to touch on first contact. There's no second chance to make a first impression. They will ask, okay? They will ask you about price. And people get angry about that because they think their price shopping, but it's because they don't know what else to ask. You know, these people, a lot of these couples haven't traveled. They've never been anywhere, and they don't know what to ask. So it is a fact that the average bride or couple will book after 7 contacts. And I told you that earlier. Don't be offended. Be optimistic and be relentless. Do not try to sell. Teach. Millennials hate to be sold anything. And don't sell yourself short. Sell your service. And I just wanted to touch briefly on brand. Simply put, your brand is your promise to your customer, because I really want to look at, you start looking at yourself as a brand and not a travel agent. It tells them that what they can expect from your products and services, and it differentiates your offering from any other of the competitors. Your brand is derived from who you are, who you want to be, and who you want people to perceive you to be. Isn't that said it all? Branding is a way of defining your business. It represents who you are. It's your identity. When considering your brand, consider what is driving your business. Don't repeat the same message over and over and over again. Be innovative and creative. Remember that buying decisions are emotional. Use stories and metaphors that are authentic to your brand to connect to your target market. What is the value that you deliver? If you deliver a lot and there's an increase in quality service, then you should be charging for that. Don't sell yourself short. So those are just some brief points on branding, because I really think that you need to get yourself branded. Create a logo that best represents you. Some of you are creating your logos now, and I think it's wonderful. You know, get a student or somebody like that. Get it done very cheaply. Do not have a business email that ends in Hotmail, Yahoo, or Gmail. You know, like you could have destinationweddingsbyliz@hotmail.com. You know, it doesn't work. You get rid of those. Get a professional email address. Try to think of a catchy tagline to complement your brand name. Once you get your logo, think of a catchy tagline. That always helps. And never forget, always include your brand in all you do. I just wanted to touch base on these suppliers. They're new to the Destination Vows program this year, and I hope that you'll treat them nice and maybe give them some business, because we want them to be there next year. The more money we get from you, or from them, sorry, the more we can market this program and get you leads and the marketing tools you need. And lastly, remember, penny pitchers are not your customers. Say no to them. You know, let Joe down the street, you know, do it. If you're worried about getting your first booking and, you know, you're afraid to charge a service charge, you know, why don't you tell that person, that couple, you know, really, this is my first wedding. I'm absolutely capable and qualified to do your wedding, but I will do it for absolutely free, and I'd like a testimonial after my wedding, after that you do their wedding. Take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. That includes training. Don't miss out on any of the training you do. Be social. Get on that Facebook. Get your business page going. Learn technology. Can't stress that enough. And support our partners. And that's about it. The only last thing I wanted to talk about, and it was about an email I sent out, and I just wanted some feedback on it, because I did get a lot of feedback and people wanted it, but I just want to see maybe how you guys are. Destination wedding planner or destination wedding specialist? The reason we want to switch to planner is not only to build your SEO, and you know, people are searching for destination wedding planner. We researched this and researched it. They're not looking for specialists. But not only that, you are a planner. You know, the majority of you are dealing with the hotels. You're working with the wedding coordinators at the resort, and that is planning their wedding. So don't cut yourself short. You guys are wedding planners, destination wedding planners. If you feel strongly that you're a specialist or you really don't like it, I'd love to hear from you. And I think that's it for me for today. It's been a pleasure talking, or I guess not talking. I've been doing all the talking, but I don't know if anybody has any questions.
So there was one that came earlier. It says you must be competitive and watch them. She wants to elaborate on that.
Basically what I meant is you have to be competitive, but you've got to watch what your competition is doing. Always keep your eyeball on what the others are doing. Keep your enemies close, isn't it? That you say, you keep your enemies close. See what they're doing. See if you can better up on them, you know, because your clients, if they come in and they'll say, you know, oh, well, so-and-so down the street, you can come back with information. Well, I know that person. I know they're booking, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you can fight for, not fight, but, you know, you can talk to the client and make them realize that maybe that other wedding planner down the street doesn't have all the qualifications you have. They may not, you know, they're booking on a room block that's the cheapest rooms in the hotel. It could be all sorts of things, but it's just to watch your competition, that's all. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Thank you for joining me, and if you have any questions or need to contact me for anything, please feel free to do so, and have a great week. Bye, everybody.